Good morning from Greenwood Cemetery in Brooklyn. Today I'm going to be showing you 3 famous Irish graves that are here. And if you stay around till the end of the video, I'm going to have a bonus grave at the end, which is the grave of a woman who was not Irish, she was American, but she married one of the most well-known and significant Irish revolutionaries of all time. Perhaps more well-known in the United States than Ireland, but yeah. This place, Greenwood Cemetery, is on 478 acres, so it's absolutely massive. And my hand that's holding the camera right now is completely numb. It's -7 or -8 degrees today and windy, so hopefully it doesn't take too long to find these graves. Okay, so we finally arrived. These 3 graves behind me are the family of Irish revolutionary Theobald Wolfe Tone. He was one of the founding members of the Society of United Irishmen in Belfast in 1791. Now, the Society of United Irishmen's main aim was parliamentary reform, because it's important to remember that there was a parliament in Ireland in the 1790s. However, it was illegal for Catholics to sit in that parliament. Now, the vast majority of the population of Ireland were Catholics, therefore the vast majority of the population of Ireland were completely unrepresented. The Society of United Irishmen are most well known for the 1798 rebellion in Ireland. This took place over 5 months, from May till October. Now, although Theobald Wolfe Tone was one of the founding members of the Society of United Irishmen and one of the leaders of the rebellion, it's important not to forget that he wasn't in Ireland for the vast majority of the rebellion. He was in France. While he was in France, he was trying to recruit some French troops for a potential invasion of Ireland, a French invasion of Ireland, to overthrow British rule. He was semi-successful in this because in December 1796, 2 years before the rebellion actually began, 43 ships left from France heading for the southwest coast of Ireland. On those 43 ships was about 14,000 French troops and Theobald Wolfe Tone. The French troops were led by a man called General Lazare Hoche. The storms that they were sailing through were so bad that they were unable to land on the southwest coast of Ireland, and after a few days of trying, they gave up and returned to France. And the storms were so bad that not all of the ships made it back. So what became the 1798 rebellion very well could have been the 1796 or 1797 rebellion. So the first grave I have to show you here is the wife of Theobald Wolfe Tone. This is Matilda Tone, original name Martha Witherington. In 1785, she married the Irish revolutionary at the age of 17 in Dublin. And as you can see on the gravestone here, the heroic wife of Theobald Wolfe Tone. So the next grave I have to show you is the son of Theobald Wolfe Tone. Now, although you can't really read anything on the headstone there, this is William Theobald Wolfe Tone. And this is the kind of thing we don't learn anything about in school in Ireland, to be honest. But the Tones had a fairly messy life, to say the least. They essentially followed Theobald along from the United States to France. They initially settled in New Jersey before moving to France, following Theobald along. Now, when Theobald died, they initially planned to stay in France and to build a life there, but 2 out of the 3 kids would pass away from tuberculosis, William being the only survivor. So in 1807, they moved over to the United States again, and 3 years later, in 1810, they moved back to France. So Matilda here, William's mother, she actually got French citizenship for her son William through Napoleon Bonaparte. Okay? Now, William would attend military school and he would actually fight alongside Napoleon's army and raise to the rank of lieutenant in the 8 Chasseurs. When Napoleon was defeated in 1815, William and his mother Matilda would try and move back to Ireland, but they were denied entry into the country by the British government. Therefore, for one final time, they would move back to the United States again. They would settle in Georgetown in Washington, D.C., and that is where they would spend the rest of their lives, and that is where they would actually die. Now, they were actually initially buried there, but their bodies were reinterred to Greenwood Cemetery in the 1890s. The third and the final grave of the Tone family, buried here in Greenwood Cemetery in Brooklyn, is Grace Georgiana Tone Maxwell. This is the daughter of William Tone, and therefore the granddaughter of Theobald Wolfe Tone. So there you have it. Theobald Wolfe Tone, one of the founding members of the Society of United Irishmen. That is his wife, Matilda Tone, or Martha Witherington. That is his son, William Tone. and that is his granddaughter, Grace Georgiana Tone Maxwell. And Theobald Wolfe Tone himself is buried in Bodenstown, County Kildare. So as I said at the start of the video, I'm going to show you one more bonus grave. This woman wouldn't be very well known in Ireland. She'd be more so overshadowed by her very famous husband, I suppose. But hopefully we can find this grave because it's at the other side of this 478 acre cemetery. So the fourth and final grave that we're going to visit today is this woman right here. This is Elizabeth Townand. Now, I mentioned earlier on that Elizabeth wasn't Irish. She was originally from New York. However, she was married to one of the most significant and well-known Irish revolutionaries of all time. And there's a bust of him right there. This is Thomas Francis Meagher, born in 1823 to a wealthy family in Waterford City. After graduating from school, he became heavily involved in the movement for Irish independence and joined the Young Irelanders. After the 1848 Young Irelander Rebellion, he was sentenced to death. However, his sentence was commuted to life imprisonment or exile in the penal colony of Van Diemen's Land, which is current-day Tasmania, just south of Australia. A couple of years later, in 1852, he escaped the penal colony, made his way back to the other side of the world again, but would not land in Ireland. In fact, he would never step foot on Irish soil again. He would land in the United States and settle right here in New York City. When the American Civil War broke out, he became commander of the fighting 69th or the 69th New York State Militia. He then became a founding member and Brigadier General of the Irish Brigade that fought in the American Civil War. After the Civil War, he became acting governor of Montana Territory. This is even before Montana was an official state. But on the 1st of July, 1867, he was on a steamboat on the Missouri River heading for Fort Benton in Montana, and that was the last he was ever seen. He had a rather controversial death, I suppose. He went overboard that steamboat, and the controversy lies around how he went overboard. Was it a decision of his own? Was it a mistake of his own? Or was it somebody else that made that decision for him, that chose his fate for him? But on the 1st of July 1867, Thomas Francis Meagher passed, and his body was never found, so there is actually no official grave for the man. However, there are memorials all over the United States, especially in New York and Montana, and there are memorials all over Ireland, especially in his home city of Waterford. So thanks a million for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you want to support the channel, the best way of doing so would be signing up to my Patreon, which I'll link below. On my Patreon, you'll get early access to all these videos. You'll be able to watch them before they even come out, and you'll also get some Patreon exclusive videos as well. I'll also leave a link to my website below, and yeah, that's it for today. Thanks for watching, hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you in the next one.